Good morning, or actually good afternoon. I don't know why I said good morning. It's 11 a.m., but hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to another psychic party. I'm so excited because we have not done one of these in a hot minute. I think the last time I did a psychic party with you guys was back in November, but never fear, I am back. I do plan on doing these regularly. I know I've said that before, but this time I'm pretty sure I can stick to it. And so I'm excited to see what type of messages come forward for all of you today. So, if you are unfamiliar with how we do things here, I'd like to invite you to take a look at the description area because the description will lay out the house rules so you have an idea of how this is going to go. And yeah, it's just one of those things. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So before I came on today, I did pull some cards and I just asked my cards, what do we need to know for today? Hi, what is that? Brolic and Jessica. Hi. Glad to see you guys too. I asked the cards what we needed to know today, and I got some interesting answers. And basically, what the cards showed was that a lot of people are feeling lost right now. So if that's you, know that you're not alone. A lot of people are feeling like they've lost touch with themselves, but I also get the sensation of feeling lost within your communities. I think many of you are having to walk away from people that were important to you. You're probably feeling a little, I want to say, confused when it comes to your spiritual path and beliefs. And there might be this sense of even having abandoned yourself. And what I want to say to you, and what came up in the cards, was that it's really important for you to find those practices that make you feel whole. And what was interesting is the Hierophant card popped up, and the Hierophant can be about a spiritual leader, it can be about a spiritual organization. But really, what I think that the cards were saying is if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling lost in this world, find those spiritual practices that help you get back to yourself. Like what makes you feel grounded? For me, I've been getting back into my candle burn. So you can see my candle burning right now. I'm getting back into that and doing my tarot cards every morning, praying every morning, setting the intention. And getting into a routine has really helped me to come back home to myself and to feel aligned with the universe again. And it is the sense of homecoming back to me, back to the spirit world. And it's been a beautiful thing. So if you feel as if something is missing from your life and you've been neglecting your spiritual practices or even self care, I do believe that self care is a spiritual practice as well. So ask yourself what practices you need to get back into and see if that helps. CL says, I finally made it to a live. Yes, CL, you did. So I want to say hi to everyone who's joining me live. We've got Vanji, Tiara, Sudiva, Sudiva, sorry about that. Annie, Cassandra, Kita, CL. Oh, Joyce. Hi, Joyce. So yeah, this is most likely going to be the date and time that I start doing these lives. What I found was when I was doing these in the evening was I was so burnt out, so I either had to cancel them because I was too tired, or I'd show up and just you know feeling I want to say half baked, but that's not the right term, is it? Because I was definitely not half baked, but I felt it's that sensation of being like just burnt out and just not fully aware. So Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific time are is the new structure that I'm working with. Also, real quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Brenda. She had sent the selenite wand to me along with a few other wonderful selenite items, I think last year, well, year before. And I actually just started working with this wand, and I have found it to really help change the energy. And so, what I'm doing right now is I am just combing through your own energy, and I am wanting to lift any curses or negative energy from you. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. Get to your question in a second. And just really allow all that heaviness to lift and bring in some light into your life. So, If you want to accept this energy, just set the intention that you're receiving it right now. So this is a wonderful way to kind of clear everything before we dive into the readings. And if you have a question, pop it into the chat box. I won't be able to get to everyone's questions, but I will get to as many as I can. And these are lotto style readings. So I'm not going in order. I'm just going towards whatever my eyes feel pulled towards. Okay. So combing out that energy, making your aura nice and big, giving you that protective field all around you. I love this community. You guys are so open. It's so beautiful. So, all right. And just like sending you a final little energy push. There you go. Sending you good luck. Good luck, because we all need more luck, right? Okay. CL says nothing wrong with being half baked. I agree with you, but I wasn't. I was just so tired that I felt like, what? By the end of the day. I'm telling you, I crash so hard sometimes after like 5, 6. Lately, my energy has been great for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm hoping that sticks. But yeah, once the day starts to settle down, I can get really tired really fast. Okay. Jessica says, I am applying to new jobs, would love a higher income. Will I find what I am desiring soon, or should I stay put? Jessica, that's a wonderful question. I actually feel like it's a mix of both. I feel like it's good for you to stay put for now, but I do feel like towards just within a few months, before the end of the year for sure, probably by summer, before summer, I feel like that new job with a higher income is going to reveal itself to you. And I'm shuffling cards for you right now, though. But I do feel like there's going to be a really good opportunity for you. So keep putting out the resumes because they are going to stick. By the way, do you guys like my Boss Babe cup? How cute is that? Right. Isn't that adorable? Let me just put that over there because I will need a sip or two during this live. And yeah, but I do see a new job coming for you. Also, here's your card, happiness. I feel like the new job coming for you isn't just about more income. It is going to fill your life with joy. And it feels like it's going to align somehow with your soul purpose. So, whatever that means for you, I do see you moving to a work environment that lifts your spirit, that feels really good. And I do just see you shining, Jessica. I see you being so happy in this new place of employment. I'm also hearing that it's a good idea for you to start manifesting this right now. So the way that we manifest, of course, is we live in the end. So we imagine that we already have this wonderful job. We think about the things in the job that will make us happy and fulfilled, and what type of work environment we also want to be on. But you're not done, Jessica. I do want to pull some cards for you as well. All right. Get a more solid answer for you. So, higher income. She's going to find that soon. I think you are going to find it soon. I think you're going to find it within a few months. All right. Let's see what we got for you. All righty. So I have the Two of Wands in reverse. And so this shows someone who's out there actively looking. I feel like what this is saying is, even though it's in reverse, keep looking, but know that you may not get the answers back right away. So sometimes we can put something out into the world, a resume, an idea, an intention, and it doesn't get the traction that we hope for when we're putting all this energy into it. Like at the beginning of a project, we're gung ho about it. We're putting all of our energy into it. We don't see the results we want, or we start to get tired. And then it's like after we pull back, we're like, you know what, this probably isn't going to happen. And we forget about it. Something pops up. Something comes up. And so I feel like that's what this card is saying, is that it comes up after you've poured all the energy into it, like putting out your resumes, and you're like, okay, you know what? Never mind, whatever. I'm just going to stick to this for a while. It is what it is. And then we also have this Six of Cups energy coming up for you. I think you're going to get more than one job offer. And so this is going to be a matter of you balancing out and figuring out which one you want. Do go for the money. That is also going to offer you the happiness. And then also, this is interesting because we have the Nine of Wands. What I'm getting from this actually, though, is that this is going to be a healing environment for you. I think that over the past few years, you've been feeling burnt out. You've been feeling like you need to probably protect yourself and just, you probably are going home with headaches. By the end of the day, you probably do have a ginormous headache. And I feel like this is saying the new employment that you're about to step into is actually going to be healing for you. So I'm seeing so many good things for you. Um, Good fortune, more money, more stable income, all of it's on the way for you. So that's exciting, Jessica. I'm excited for you. Okay. Um Let's see. Debbie says, thanks for this offering. If called, any message is received with gratitude. All right, Debbie. So it sounds like you want a general reading. And for that, like I always feel to work with these angel cards today. So it's actually one of my favorite angel decks. It's an older one. It's Angel Inspiration deck by Kim Dreyer. This is an old standby for me. When did this come out? 2015. So it's 10 years old. But it's so amazing. So if you guys are looking for an oracle deck or really anything, oh, it's 1111. Hey, manifest. What are you manifesting? Hold on to the intentions. 1111. Got it. Okay, good. um, this is such a great deck to bring inspiration and insight into your life. So even if you just want to surround yourself with more positive things, it's a nice handy deck to have around. So okay, Debbie, let's see what we've got for you. Hi, Annie. Oh my gosh, it's so good to reconnect with you guys again. I've missed you guys. I really have. Okay. What does Debbie need to know? All right. Debbie, this is interesting. Okay, so I got the card Be Accommodating. What I'm getting from this, though, it's kind of strange because I don't feel like you're the one who's supposed to be accommodating. I feel like what this card is saying is that it's actually time for people to start accommodating you. I feel like you accommodate a lot. That's what I'm getting. And I think that you get joy out of that. I do think that you're someone who is, I want to say, like the perfect hostess. I do think that you like to do nice things for people. I can see you being the type of person who likes to have people over for dinner. I see you helping others clean up afterwards. If there's like a big, like Thanksgiving dinner, I see you being totally happy to help people clean up. And yeah, you're already very accommodating. And so actually what I'm getting from this is looking for those relationships where there's the reciprocity. So you're in a season now of receiving. So you might want to take a look at which relationships are fulfilling to you, where you're not having to do all the work and where other people are accommodating you. And I have to say, I actually think that you're in a position where you do have those people in your life. I think that there's a good amount of people that will be accommodating for you, but sometimes people may not know what it is that you need, so they may not be helping you in the ways that they could because they don't know that's the help you need. So, with the be accommodating message, what I'm hearing is if there's something that you need assistance with, ask for it. I think you already know what people in your life you can depend on for certain things. So, yeah. So that's interesting. The card was be accommodating, but it's not about you being accommodating. You're already that person. It's just as you move throughout this year, you might find that other people maybe have resources or even just, sometimes we just need someone to listen to us when we're going through changes in life, not even bad changes. Sometimes they're good changes. And I see that coming for you too. And when good changes come, sometimes we just need people to bounce off some ideas, right? So, yeah. So I feel like these are all good things for you. All right. Vanjie Cooks, thank you so much. I appreciate the little maraca dance. That's very cute. Is there a question that goes with this? Or are you just giving me a generous tip? Either one is totally okay, but I very much appreciate it. Okay. Hi, Cruz. Cruz says, hello, Nicole. I hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you. Will I improve with my physical therapy in 2 months? I feel that I'm improving slowly. That is awesome, Cruz. Okay, so when you were asking if you'll improve in 2 months, um, I feel like it's a possibility, but not set in stone. And what's interesting too is when I was reading your question, all of a sudden I saw like this light energy opening up, and I saw red. There was some orange in there, but mostly I saw red and yellow. What's interesting is I saw red more towards your chest, and so that's about where the heart chakra and solar plexus chakra is, and those tend to emanate green and I believe orange or yellow. For some reason, I can't remember what color the solar plexus is. I think it's orange, but the heart is definitely green. So it's interesting to see these pop up for you. So I don't know if maybe the red indicates the the part of your energy that is, I want to say angry for lack of a better word, but maybe we'll say disturbed. It's off. The energy's off in um this general area for you. So the whole, the stomach region, the heart, and all of that. So that's a little off for you. I'm seeing there being big red around it, but then you have yellow right on top. So from here up, you've got this amazing yellow energy. And so what I think could be a good practice for you is focusing on the yellow energy as much as you can and trying to bring that down throughout the rest of your body, because there is inflammation and there's something else energetically that needs to maybe be released or healed. And as you pull in more of that yellow energy, and as you can visualize it and feel it in maybe your chest and your stomach area and all throughout there, I think you're going to notice that some of the physical symptoms start to release and relax as well. So when you're asking, will this improve in 2 months? I don't feel that being destined. I don't think it's a yes or no question. It's more like this is transition, it's a possibility. And I am feeling like energy work, some type of other, healing work, whether that's mental or emotional, will also help with just bring in the physical sensations faster. So pay attention to what you're thinking about, and really pay attention to the energies around you and pull in those those healing colors as much as possible. And I do think that you're going to see some changes. So Ness is saying, folks, hit the like button as you enter. It helps beat YouTube algorithms. Ness, thank you for that. Yeah, whenever you guys find these helpful, if you give it a thumbs up, if you share it out, and most of all, if you watch it, that lets YouTube know that the content that you enjoy is enjoyable, that people like it. Yeah. So, all right. All right, Cruz, I hope that was helpful for you. Okay, Ness. Ness says, how do you see my reputation and career opportunities changing in 2025 when my writing project is out in the world? What will close and what will open? Okay, Ness. So when you asked about the reputation, I got this interesting hit. So I do think that you're building quite a reputation for yourself in the writing world, in the niche that you want to go into. I feel like you're gaining this reputation of being someone who's a go-getter, who will stop at nothing, who is very focused. And I also want to say that it's important for you to balance between, it's going to sound weird, being a people pleaser and advocating for yourself. um I don't actually like the term people pleasing, but I don't know what other term to use here. So we're just gonna go with it. So when I say finding that balance with people pleasing and advocating for yourself, when it comes to really any type of career path or really anything in life, we sometimes need feel the need to be on our best behavior because we don't want a door to shut on us. And so we're very mindful on how we behave, on how we speak, on how we interact with people, because we don't want to lose an opportunity. And so the challenge here can be asking yourself if this really is the opportunity that you want, and if this door is really going to open for you if you're behaving nicely, if you're behaving in ways that are accommodating towards other people. The problem is that what can happen is there are power dynamics in every field, right? There's always going to be power dynamics, and what can happen is when people know that you're going after something, they'll sometimes take advantage of you. So they will dangle this carrot in front of you with no intentions of ever allowing you to have it, but they know that they'll get you to jump through hoops. Or maybe they want to hold on to you as a resource for something in the future, but in the meantime, they're maybe not treating you with the dignity and respect that you deserve. So, when we talk about advocating for yourself, it's also about knowing when to allow those doors to shut. So, go after the opportunities that have um what's the word I'm looking for? Where good core values, I guess, are being presented. So where people are returning your phone calls, where they're saying nice things to you, where they've actually got a plan for you in terms of marketing or getting your book published. You want to make sure that it's not just words, that you're seeing action as well. You want to weed out the people that are wasting your time. So I see you gaining a reputation of being smart, of being focused, of being diligent, of doing what needs to be done. I see you having a really good reputation there. As far as how the career opportunities are going to change, that's going to be up to you, because you have full power. You have full control here in terms of how you're being, or how you're presenting yourself, and how people are viewing you. So I do see you having, I want to say, three big career opportunities opening up for you this year. And as to whether or not you jump on it, or you decide it's the right fit for you, that's only for you to say. I do see you making some type of a career shift, and I do see this being very good for you. I feel like this probably happens more towards the second part of the year, the second half of the year. So probably during summer or afterwards. But I do see some fantastic doors opening up for you. So as for what will close and what will open, I'm not too sure about that, but I do see plenty of opportunities opening for you. And I think that once you set your focus and your sights on the one that you really want to go after, the other doors that are just distractions will close on their own. A couple of these might be a little hurtful. A couple chapters may not be what you want to see end, but overall, I feel like this is going to be good for you. So Ness, I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so Brolic, thank you for the tip. Did you have a question for me? Let me go see. Let me go look. Anything ahead with the career, please? Thinking of going elsewhere and had applied to another company. Oh, I love that you're moving forward in that. That's really good. I'm not getting an exact hit, so let's go ahead and tune into the cards and see what they have to say. Also, for those of you watching, if you are interested in developing your psychic abilities, if you've ever watched a channel like this one, whether it is Guiding Echoes or another one, you've thought to yourself, well, I would like to be able to do that. I want to open up my psychic abilities, and be great to give readings for myself and my friends. I actually recently opened a psychic development membership. It's only $29 a month, and I offer weekly psychic classes Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It has been so much fun. In March, we're going to be working on mediumship. So if that's something you're interested in, you may want to jump on the horn now, because all throughout February, we're going to be setting the foundations for mediumship in March. We also get monthly guided meditations. I'm working on a new tarot course that members get access to. So if that's something you're interested in, check out the link or just go to guidingechoes.com, and all the information is there. But I would love, love, love to work with you on expanding your psychic insight, and then you get to mentor under me, and it's fun for everyone. Okay, Brolic, so here's what I've got for you. You've got great cards. You've got really good cards. I'm excited for you. So you're asking about changes in your career path. So This was your last card, but I feel like it's important. So we're going to start with it now. We've got the Six of Wands. So let me tell you why I love this for you. First of all, it does indicate movement. So I think that you are going to be making a change in your career path. What's weird is I'm not sure if it's this year though. I'm not sure if it's this year. It might actually be next year. I know no one ever wants to hear that, right? But right now you're on a good career trajectory. Things are moving in the right direction. But what I love about this is it's not just about forward momentum, it's about praise, it's about validation, it's about people seeing your worth. So I do think that you're moving in a direction in your career where people are going to see your worth and see what you can offer. And I do think that you're going to get recognized for all the good work that you do. I see you moving into a place where you fully shine. And I think what's about to happen, Brolic, is I think you're actually about to get recognized in your current job. I think in your current field, there's going to be some pleasant things happening there. And so that might be what prolongs this switch into another career field for you. But it's possible that you get a raise where you're currently at because I do see a change. What's interesting right now is I see a change, but I don't necessarily see a move, which makes me think that you're going to get these good things where you currently work. And I see that happening over the next few months. What's interesting is I've got the King of Cups here. And so the King of Cups could indicate that, well, first of all, it could indicate you, so reminding you that you are the ultimate authority figure in your life. So whether you stay or go, that is entirely up to you. You get to call the shots. But what I'm also picking up on career wise is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is someone who is going to be intuitive. He's intelligent. He is an authority figure. Um, this person starts to notice you and starts to trust you with maybe um I want to say bigger projects or more important projects isn't the word I'm looking for. I'll just say important tasks, more important tasks. It's like they're testing you, like, all right, well, let's see how he handles this situation or how he handles this task. So you're going to be given an opportunity to really shine. And if an opportunity or if a maybe opportunity is not the right word, if if you are asked to do a task or complete something that is outside of your pay rate and outside of your um list of responsibilities for your job, it might feel annoying, but lean into it and see if this is an opportunity for you because you might be tested. They might be doing this to see if it's something you can handle long term. And if that turns out to be true, they might look at you for another position that could possibly pay better or be easier. So again, I see there being a change there, and I think it's your current employer. Also, love this for you. 10 of Cups. So, whether you stay or you go somewhere else, we've got this 10 of Cups energy, and 10 of Cups energy is always about feeling fulfilled. It's about that happiness within your spirit and outward things pouring in. So, I would say that overall, it looks like 2025 is going to be a very lucky year for you. So, we see good fortune, good energy, so much goodness pouring down on you. So, really think about where you want to go with this new energy. And once again, with this King of Cups, remember you're the ultimate authority in your life. Pay attention to your intuition, pay attention to what feels good. Being at your current employer may not feel good now, but later on that could shift. I'm not going to say it will because nothing's written in stone, but it could, right? So just pay attention to that. So, all right, I hope that answers your question. All right, Tiara is asking. I just wanted to see if there are any general messages for me. Thank you for the live. You are very welcome. So, I wish I could put these on screen, but I'm using. I don't think I can. But I'm using. Yeah, I can't. But you guys can see them in the chat, right? I'm just using the typical YouTube app to go live, and usually I would use a third party app that allowed me to put the comments on screen, which was always kind of cool. But I am not using that today. All right. So Tiara wants to know, she wants a general message. So what does she need to know? Speaking to Tiara's guides and angels, what does she need to know? Okay. So we have Two of Wands in reverse for you. What I'm getting from this is, Terry, you might feel as if there might be something that you are seeking outside for fulfillment or completion. You may be feeling incomplete. You may feel as if there is something outside of you that you're trying to get that'll make you whole. And what I'm getting from this being in reverse for you is this is about introspection. The things that you are searching for outside of yourself are actually already within you. So you might want to stop and think about what it is that you're trying to gauge, what you're trying to gain from an outside situation or circumstance, and ask how you can actually cultivate that within yourself. Sometimes we look for, well, as humans, we often look for validation of something, whether it's validation of love or talent. I'm trying to tune into what this is for you, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think you know what it is. And if you don't, it'll pop up. Just pay attention to your thinking over the next few days, and you'll be like, oh, that's it. That's what Nicole was talking about. So find ways to cultivate that within yourself. And sometimes it's just as simple as praising ourselves more, as recognizing that we have a certain amount of strength, which is your next card, strength within us. And I feel like that's what your guides and angels want you to know right now, is that you do have a lot of strength within you. And your strength may not necessarily come through brute force. It can be through your kindness, through the goodness that you show to others. I also feel that there might be someone in your life right now that you've been pouring a lot of goodness into. And I feel like this person might be depleting you. It may not be obvious yet. It might be coming up in the form of small aggravations. So just pay attention to that and know when to set your own boundaries. And remember, boundaries isn't about telling someone else what to do, it's really about knowing our own limitations and setting boundaries for ourselves. So knowing when we're not going to pour energy into something or someone anymore, we're going to take that back for ourselves because we need to. And that'll help to fuel your own strength, and I think your own validation for whatever you're looking for. So I think right now you might be depleted by other people, which is why you feel like you need validation or completion from an outside source. You don't. You actually just need to stop the drainage from someone else that's draining you. The next card I have for you is this Knight of Swords energy. So this is about swift action. It's about making something happen fast. So I think that that's actually one of your strengths, Tiara. I think you're able to make very sound, quick judgments and decisions. I think you're able to read a room faster than most people. And I believe that you're both very intuitive and analytical. I feel like you're highly intelligent. And so there are certain things that other people might miss in a situation, but it doesn't get past you. And that's why you're able to make these quick decisions. And I think that most of the time it works out well for you, or it works out well for whoever you've made that decision for. Like in your career path, you probably have to make decisions that benefit the company. And some people might see this as you being impulsive, but little do they know that your mind calculates things very quickly, and you're able to see things from a tremendous point of view. For you've got like this huge vantage point that other people don't, and that's both emotional and analytical for you. You can see how things will play out. And so I think that's one of your strengths. And that might be, again, what this is referring to, is that the inner calculations, the ability to see things in your mind play out before they actually do, and also your gut hunches are very right on. So I feel like that's what you need to know about yourself. You need to be familiar with your own inner strength. You need to remind yourself that these decisions that you make quickly have worked out most of the time, And the reason this is coming up is because there's probably going to be a situation where someone tells you you're too impulsive or you need to think about this decision first. And the truth is, you have built enough trust in yourself to know that you can trust your intuition and trust what your mind is telling you and trust your gut, right? So when people come into your life and they tell you to second guess yourself, don't. You already have a pretty good track record. Um, so I hope that helps. All righty. Um, Ruth said, thank you very much for the $20. I appreciate that. Let's see, did that come with a question? I don't see one, but if that came with a question, please drop it in the chat and I will answer it soon. Um, Hi, love and blessings from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you for the live. You are very welcome. All right. So Gina's asking, do you see me shifting my career path and working for myself? I do see you working for your. Are you working for yourself now? I do see you working for yourself. Um, but I don't feel like, but it feels like that's more of a side hustle for now and for a while. I don't see that being your mainstream of income. But I do see you working for yourself. And as far as the shift in the career path, um, probably not for a while. I I think that you're going to stay where you are for probably about a year, give or take. And that shift in career does happen. And I do see you working for yourself, but it might take a while for you to get everything together and aligned in the way that makes you feel confident and secure enough to move through all of that full time where you can make that change. But also, this is interesting. I'm trying to figure out what I'm tuning into because I am seeing that you can make this shift faster than waiting till the end of the year, sometime next year. Um, it feels like there will be an opportunity for you to take some type of a class. This isn't a class, this isn't an online course, this is a mentorship. So, this could be in the form of an online course where you're showing up for classes a few times a week. You're working under a mentor. I don't know that this is an actual like college course or something like that. This might be something that you're paying for privately, an online course where you're working directly with the teacher and other students. And I see that helping you to bring everything in faster. So there is maybe, I don't know if there's necessarily a new skill that you need to work on, or maybe this might even be the case of sometimes we just need to be around people who have the same goal as us and have that same energy and understanding, because it fuels us individually, but it fuels us as a group. And with that energy, we can expand and make things happen faster. So I don't think this is an actual manifestation group that I'm looking at, although it could be. I feel like this is about you getting involved with some type of a class or course. I do see it being online with other people who um who have the same who are wanting to build the same skill as you. I'll put it that way. So whatever the skill is that you either need to build or strengthen, it's good to be around other people. And it's always good to who have that same desire, but it's always good to brush up on your skills even when you know everything about your own industry. Like I'm constantly diving into different videos and courses on tarot and psychic stuff and social media marketing. I know all those things really well, but there's always something new to learn, right? And I always love it when there's something new to learn. It's like, yes, one more thing to add into my tool bag. Awesome. So surround yourself with other people who have a similar goal to you and maybe similar approaches. I think that's going to really help you make the shift that you want and make it faster because the shift is coming. Like you've thrown enough energy into it where something has to happen. But as to whether or not it happens quickly or happens on your terms is something entirely different. So do what you can to put the odds in your favor. So, all right, I hope that helps. So Susan is asking, how do you see my community and relationships changing in 2025? Okay. Um, Susan, as soon as you said that, I saw the spread that I pulled this morning. So it consisted of the, I think it's the seven of cup or eight of cups, where it shows the image of someone walking away from something. And then there was, I think it was the 5 of cups and then the Hierophant, and I think that might have been for you. So when you're asking about community and relationships changing, what I'm seeing is that I do think that there's going to be some, um, relationships that fall away this year, but I don't see them being relationships that were solid and completely important. These are more like the surface level relationships that you are maybe hoping to get more from. These might not even be people that have come into your world yet. So I do see there being people that you meet. Maybe you have met them already. I'm not entirely sure. And they seem nice and they seem fun. And there's a part of you that's like, wow, I'd really like to get to know this person better. Like they seem awesome. This is great. But for some reason, it just kind of falls away. And maybe they do things like they have a gathering and they don't invite you. There's things like that that might happen, or you hear that someone said something about you that's not nice. So it feels like really people's true natures are going to be revealed, and there are going to be some relationships that fall away. What I actually do see for you, Susan, though, is I see you getting connected with more of a stronger spiritual community. And I don't know if this is spiritual in terms of like a psychic community, or religious or book clubs or something like that. Sometimes when I turn into spiritual communities, it's actually more about like that soul sister vibe where you feel like a spiritual connection to people and not just I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? Because sometimes we have those friends in our life where it's like, okay, this is a fun friend. Like, I like this person, or coworkers, like, yeah, these people are great. I have nothing against them. But then you meet those people, and there's like that soul recognition, there's that soul pull, and it just feels amazing. And I see that coming into your life. I see more of that for you. And that feels like that starts to happen. I heard August, so by August, I think you're gonna have already kind of gone through the season of certain people falling away. um I don't necessarily see a whole lot of new people coming into your life, but there's going to be some relationships where there's going to be some really nice reconciliation. And some of this reconciliation isn't even that there was a fallout, it's more like, I don't know. Sometimes we just fall out of each other's lives. Sometimes that just happens. And so I do see there being a stronger community for you. And I actually see it as being a circle. And I do see meditation. So that's why I'm like, are you going to get involved in a spiritual community? You might. And I do see that being really good for you. So yeah, so I hope that helps. But you know what, honestly, I think that for a lot of people, despite all because there is some chaos happening in the world, and I don't want to be tone deaf to that. I don't want to seem like I'm dismissing it, because there are some scary things happening right now. But I also feel like in the midst of that, there's some really good things happening for a lot of people too. So I think that this year is going to be, it's going to feel like a yo-yo, up and down. There's going to be good things that happen that are really good for a lot of people. And I think, like, on a worldwide scale, there's going to be things that are scary. And I know that's really not much of a prediction, right? Because on a worldwide level, there's always something that seems scary. Um, but it might hit us a little different this year in some way. And so with that, I feel like it's important to acknowledge both. Like we can acknowledge that there's yucky things happening, and we can acknowledge that yucky things happen in our own life too. But I think it's also really important to put as much emphasis on the good as we can, because when good things happen in a world that is filled with suffering and disappointment and betrayal, those good things that happen are so precious. And so we do want to hold them close as much as possible and recognize them for what they are. So, with that, I actually do see a lot of good things happening for a lot of people. It's not going to be another year, at least I don't think it's going to be another year of just outright turmoil and confusion like what we saw in 2020 and 2021. I feel like this is going to be different. So yeah, so as far as I mean, I'm not trying to do a 2025 reading. I think that there's too many things happening this year for any one person to make to make any type of evaluation on it. But overall, I do see good things happening for a lot of people. So yeah, so try not to live in fear. Try not to live in fear. There's good stuff happening too. All right, can you guys do me a favor? Can you just put anything in the chat box, because the chat stopped moving for me, and when that happens, it makes me wonder if I've lost internet connection, or if people are even still watching. So you could just like even put a hi. Ness, all right, thank you. She put test 1 2 3. Perfect. All right. Hello, Gina. All right. Thank you. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Oh, Teriyaki Sarah. Hello. You're a gem, Nicole. What's popping in career and business for me? Well, let's find out. Let's find out, Teriyaki Sarah. All right. It's so good to be with you guys again. I know I already said that, but like my heart is so happy right now. Like it's just, I'm excited that I can do this again. So, all right. So, what's popping for career and business for Teriyaki Sarah? Career and business 2025. All right. Here we go. Let's see what we got. All right. You've got some really interesting energies here. I think that there is going to be, if there isn't already, a very smug male in your career path that feels the need to constantly show off. That's a very strange thing to pick up when people are asking about their career business path. So, here we have the Four of Pentacles, and a lot of people see this as like the Scrooge McDuck, right? Selfish. He's got that Grinch energy, like this is my money, I'm holding on to it, I'm not going to let anyone have it. But that's not always a bad thing. So when we're asking about your career in business, I feel like what this is saying is be very mindful of your resources, and if you don't want to share, don't share. There's a reason that you're feeling the need to keep things to yourself. Sometimes this can come up in interesting ways, especially in a career or business environment where maybe we're in a meeting and someone asks, do you have any advice or do you have any things you'd like to add? And we do have a nugget of wisdom and we do have this idea. And so there can be a part of us that wants to share it. And what I've seen happen in my life and with other people is when you get that intuitive nudge that tells you, don't share this, and you do it anyway, what can happen is people take that idea and run with it and they claim the credit for themselves. There's just so many things that can happen. So what I'm feeling from this is don't share those ideas, just act on them. Just start acting on them. If that means that you have to start doing research on a project and then you maybe write a formal email with some type of advice or whatever it is, that's what you do. But you want to make sure you document everything showing that this is your baby, this is your idea. So don't share it until it starts coming into fruition and you know it's ready and you have the right people backing you up. And I think part of that is because this weirdo that's showing up. So we've got the King of Pentacles, and look at how smug this dude is. Like almost every time I pull that card, I'm just like, there's just times I look at this card, I'm like, "Dang, he's so smug. Like, look at that look on his face." I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing things, but I mean, I am psychic. I see things all the time. And what's funny is right next to him is he's got this Ace of Wands. And with these two coming together, this is like someone who's like waving their stick, like showing they've got the bigger stick. Their stick is bigger than yours, and they're getting into a you know what contest. So just be mindful of this person, because I think that this person's very egoic, and I think if you play your cards right, they're not going to be able to stand in the way. You might see this person fall. So I don't know if you already know who this person is. I think that this person's already in your life somehow. Um, but just be careful, be very careful around this person. I do also want to say that the Ace of Wands, regardless of how it shows up, even though it showed up with this guy to show that he's like, I've got the bigger stick, I'm more important. uh the Ace of Wands is always a magical card to pull up because it indicates manifesting something big for yourself. So when you're asking about career and business for yourself, I get this idea of you being, what's the word? I want to say important in that that's true, but this oh, she says interesting because I have an all hands meeting with our new VP in 30 minutes. Okay, well, let me know how that goes, because that would explain why this is coming up. But again, Ace of Wands is about manifesting and creating what you want. So there's new magic, there's new energy that you can wield and work with. It's possible that if you find out that this dude is pulling things shady and you start to figure out um, what he's about, that you can start working around that energy. Does that make sense? So, for example, if we know someone who has loose lips, we know to just stay quiet around them and give them very limited information, like need to know basis. Because we know if we tell them more, they're going to blah, 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 blah to other people, and we don't want that. And so when you start to learn that this person's a gossiper, this person takes credit for things that aren't theirs, when you learn the weakness, you learn how to work around it, which gives you strength because you don't fall into their traps. So I would say just be very, very, very aware of this person and their energy, because you don't want to fall into any of the any of the things that they've got going on. So Teriyaki's like, yes, I'm a quit, and it'll throw off his whole world implementation department. Yeah, sometimes his whole implementation department. That's what you gotta do sometimes. That's what you gotta do. Okay, Ness is saying Ruth saying donated $20 and they posted the question above. All right, let me see if I can find it. Thanks, Ness. I tried to figure this out. Oh, I love this teamwork in here. You guys are awesome. Okay, let me go find that question. Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm a widow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder if I'm going to remarry because my mom keeps asking me. Well, of course she does. I am uncertain. Please pull cards. All right. Ruth saying, I'm on it. Ness, thank you. Good looking out. Appreciate it. All right. Will Ruth remarry? Do you want to remarry? I feel like you do, but there's maybe some type of I don't know. We'll see. All right. Will she remarry? Asking for Ruth on behalf of her mom. Right. All right. Ruth Singh. Am I saying your name right? Ruth Singh. Will she get married? I feel like you will. I feel like you will. Let's see if your cards can give a little more insight on this. All right. We've got. All right. You have some interesting cards. I think that you will. I just don't think it's going to be soon. I don't think it's coming up for you soon. Um as I'm looking at your cards, there's just this sense of loneliness. Um and you mentioned you were uncertain. I think you're not just uncertain about whether or not you're married. I think you might be uncertain about whether or not you want to get married to a particular person or what that would represent to you. But anyhow, I have the 3 of Wands, and this card can represent looking out at the potentials of the possibilities. It's often seen as someone who is an entrepreneur and is wanting to put their ideas out into the world. But what I'm pulling from this is this feeling of loneliness, of kind of looking out there and saying, well, is there anyone out there for me? Or this is such a big world. Like, I feel lost in it. I feel confused in it. And so I'm pulling in loneliness. That's, and maybe a little bit of fear. But yeah, lonely is the one that I'm picking up on the most. The next card I have is the death card in reverse. Interesting that would pop up. But when the death card pops up and right side up, it does indicate the ending of something, right? But you've already been through this ending, and so with it in reverse, I feel like this is a first of all, it's validation that we're on the right path because of the card that popped up. Um, but I feel like this is also coming with, I want to say, a warning to just be careful and mindful of what this next chapter in your life is. Because while your mom wants you to get married, and while she has good intentions, that might not necessarily be something that you want right now. There's a reason you have hesitation around that. So you may want to listen to that. Is that hesitation there because there's other things you want to do first, or because you're still mourning and grieving and you don't want to take that into a new relationship? I just feel like there's so many layers here. And I don't know that this is the right timing for you. When I'm looking at your cards, I think that there's some things that maybe you want to work through first. And no one's telling you that you have to work through them first, just to be clear. Like, I'm not trying to say this is something you have to do. I don't know what your desire is. But as I'm looking at your cards, I just see that there's just this sense of sadness that hasn't left. And I think what I'm concerned about for you is, marriage isn't always the answer to the emptiness in our lives. Relationships aren't always the answer to emptiness in our lives, because we can bring people in and they can seem great at first, but then they make us feel lonely. And feeling lonely in a relationship is just about one of the worst things you can ever go through. So I feel like there's caution in these cards. I feel like marriage is definitely an opportunity for you. In fact, I do see you getting married again. I do, like, in my mind's eye, I see that. Um, but I don't know that getting married soon would be the right answer for you. The next card I have is the Page of Wands in reverse. And what's interesting about this being in reverse is that when it's right side up, it indicates an announcement. And we're asking about marriage and wedding. So to me, this would be the wedding gift. This would be the announcement of getting married. But with it in reverse, it's telling me there's no announcement taking place. So I feel like I don't know if you enjoy being single or not. Sometimes it takes a while to lean into that lifestyle and find how it works for you and how it supports you and serves you. But I do think that you remaining unmarried for a while could be good for you, um, because it does feel like there's some type of internal healing that needs to take place, not just because of the grief of losing your spouse. There's other things that I feel are unsettled within you, and I don't know if this has to do with identity or self-worth or all of the above. But I feel like taking the next few months to really focus on you and who you want to be now that you're uncoupled. Like, who do you want to be, Ruth? Who are you? Who do you want to be? And what steps can you take to start diving into that person? What hurts? I know this hurts. I'm sorry. I don't mean to go this deep, but sometimes the stuff comes up. Um, what hurts? What pain? What wounds need to be addressed still? Because getting married may not make that better. Sometimes it makes it worse because now we're responsible for this other person, but we have all this unhealed trauma and inner turmoil that now gets neglected. So I feel like as I'm looking at your cards and diving into this, I feel like what's being presented for you is an opportunity to really cater to you in ways that maybe you haven't before because of family pressure, because of married life, or because you just felt like everyone was more important than you were, like everyone else's desires and tasks and whatever was more important than you. But now you get to be important in your own life. I mean, you always were, but now you really have the opportunity for that. So marriage is coming. I do see that for you. I think that your cards, and as I'm tuning into all of this, I feel like the question is, but can you wait for it and work on you first? Can you wait on that and cultivate your own joy? Can you wait on that and become the person that you desire to be, that you love to be? So think about that. Think about who you want to be, Ruth. So I know you're asking about marriage, and of course, this other thing popped up. Um, but that's how tarot readings work sometimes, right? So I hope that was helpful. I know it wasn't a full on yes or no. Um, I mean, it kind of was. It was it's a wait, right? It's a you will get married, but you may want to wait. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right, everyone. Well, that hour went by so fast, didn't it? So before we go, I do want to pull one more card to send you guys off with for the rest of the week, which is really just the weekend, right? Kara, yes, I do. I think your gifts are, Kara asked, do you see my spiritual gifts developing? I think that they're developing right now. Listen, babe, when you show up to things like this, whether it's my channel or another channel, as you listen to spiritual podcasts on topics that you're interested in, or you go to different YouTube videos, that is your spiritual gift developing because you're leaning into the things that are interesting to you, that help your heart sing. And then also, I do have a psychic development group if you guys are interested. I've pinned it in the comments. But for $29 a month, you get access to so many different things. Oh, Ruth, thank you. I appreciate that. So, for $29 a month in my psychic development course, you get to show up to weekly classes on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, where we work together. As a group to develop our psychic skills. So that's been so much fun. There's also 3 different online courses you get access to. I'm currently developing a tarot course that I hope will be ready probably by the 3rd week of February. So that'll be available. And there's just so many other things that I want to do for the group as well. I want to be able to host weekly or monthly healing energy groups. There's our sessions. There's so much that I want to do, but I need to work on getting the membership numbers up first before I can offer more, for reasons that I won't get into. But anyways, if you want to develop your psychic abilities, check out the group. It's so much fun. And yeah, it's been a great experience for everyone. And if you can't make it to the workshops, those are recorded. So you can always view the recording if you want. The classes are something else. You know what's funny? I knew she was going to come up. I knew she was going to come up. Okay. Archangel Gabrielle. She is the angel of communication and creativity. So, what I'm hearing, because I'm pulling this card for everyone, is go out this weekend and let your creativity flag fly. So, and know that you have the full support of Archangel Gabriel. And if you start to feel lost in your own life, if you start to feel like you're not I don't know, if you just feel unwell, if you feel like things are, ugh. I know a lot of people want to call out to Archangel Michael or Raphael for protection and healing. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you know what's really healing to our souls is creativity? Tuning in to the divine God source within you and creating what your heart desires. We have authors in here, right? We've got some writers. This is a great weekend to write. We have people in here who are looking to make the jump from a regular career path to working to being self-employed. That takes creativity. The next few days, guys, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, are primed with Archangel Gabriel energy. What do you want to create? Can you make time for that over the next 3 days? I think most of you can. I think you can. So think about that. What do you want to create? Oh, Ruth says, thank you. I enjoyed being single. Well, there you go. There's part of your answer right there. I think that it's important for anyone to wait until someone really makes our head turn, makes us feel seen, makes us feel good before we dive into a relationship with them. Because that's a big commitment. And if someone's not adding to our life, if we're happier single than we are in a relationship, that says a lot, right? So we don't want to give up our freedom and individualism when we get into marriage or relationship or whatnot. So, all right, my friends, well, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that some of you will look into the psychic development group because it is a lot of fun. And it's been fun to see people's not so much their gifts because I think everyone who shows in already has gifts, so it is nice to see them strengthen them. But what's been most exciting for me is to see the confidence build in everyone when it comes to their psychic gifts. Um, to me, that's just been the icing on the sweet, beautiful, wonderful, magical cake. So, all right, my friends, thank you again for joining me. It was such a blast, and I will see you next Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific. Be here or don't. Watch the replay. It's all good. All right, everyone. Take care. And of course, if you'd like a personal reading with me, visit my website, guidingechoes.com. Mwah. See you next week. Take care. Bye bye.